Hello, my name is Adriana Marino, and I am the host and producer of Bend into Balance, powered by The Source. Today, I'm really excited to be accompanied by Willis Mitchell, the founder of the Loving Fungi. Willis, thank you for being here.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What brought you to Bend?
Oh gosh, it's a long story. What brought me to Bend? I was in California. My sister had recently passed. She's my best friend, my only sibling, and I just kind of got this message to leave what I was doing. I got rid of most of my belongings, got a camper, and just took off into Oregon. I didn't know anybody. Actually ended up in Sisters first and lived in the woods for about 5 months, figuring out what happiness meant to me, and then bounced around to Portland, Eugene, Ashland, and then eventually was drawn to Bend. And it was something where I was just coming to visit for a day, and I ended up here for a week. And the people here, I mean, it's the community that really kept me here.
Yeah. How long ago was that then you arrived to Bend?
2019, I guess, was when I was really landed. Yeah,
Okay.
became a resident. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the Loving Fungi?
Yeah, it's continuously changing, but really situated around understanding that there's plants, minerals, and mushrooms that are here for us. They're little friends. They all hold an essence, a spirit, and a mechanic to them that can benefit us greatly. And so that started off with, this was never something I planned to do. It was more like, oh my God, I'm fascinated by this stuff. I'm so passionate about it. I can't stop learning and talking about it to the point where a lot of my friends are probably annoyed. So it got to the point where I was making medicines, having these beautiful experiences, and then eventually we're meeting people that needed those medicines too. And based on their transformative experiences, that was where I was like, oh my God, this is all I want to do. And so, yeah, started off with like tinctures and drinks and, the food stuff, seasonings too. Really fascinated by choice edibles. And then that's just turned into this really beautiful expansion where, I see a lot of clients one on one. We have a website where people can access us. And we've recently opened an apothecary where we carry our medicines, other people's medicines that we believe in, different tea and herbal blends, Chinese teas, crystals, books. We've got a
Yeah.
EMF protected treatment room. It's a real dream come true.
Wow,
Yeah.
congratulations. Yeah, I was there a little bit ago and I was blown away by the beauty of the space. It's very soothing. It kind of made me remember like old pharmacies,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, the ones that don't exist anymore with
Yeah.
all the bottles in the back.
Oh yeah.
My grand
True apothecaries.
A
Yeah.
true apothecary. Grandfather was a doctor, a radiologist, and at one point he was working in a pharmacy. And there's this beautiful picture in black and white of him behind this beautiful, big wood desk, and in the back there's bottles and bottles.
Yeah.
And yeah, when I walked into that space, I kind of had that feeling of walking in back in, how it used to be.
Yeah. Ancient and new too. This house
Yeah.
definitely has like this wizard's den vibe that I was seeking, and yeah, had some really great help from friends to bring it into
Uh-huh.
into the light. And yeah, you're not the only one. Most people want to hang out there for a long time, which
Yeah.
is great. We got chairs, we got
Yeah.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So tell me, I'm very curious. m- Um, what is the magic of mushrooms? Like, why are mushrooms so interesting? Why is it? I mean, can you tell us a little bit about? I mean, I know you know a lot, but where would you begin?
Yeah, it's such a fascinating species. They're not plants, they're not humans, they're not animals, they're their own thing. And we're actually more closely related to them than we are to plants.
Wow.
We have receptors inside of us that are designed just for them. And so these things may be, some folks talk about the spores being able to travel through space. And so are these intergalactic beings that come here with like a consciousness, a mission, and energy. On a very like physical level, what affects them affects us. So molds and things like that. So we
Yeah.
can uh, use that intelligence to help our bodies with defense. And so a lot of these are considered adaptogens,
Uh-huh.
which help us regulate and adapt to our environment, which is pretty, it's changing continuously.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's a huge subject to dive into. They're the reason that trees decompose, and we have minerals and nutrients and stuff so that we can grow things. Like healthy soil has fungus in it, you know? Yeah, it's a wide open subject. What I found most fascinating about them beyond the tasty foodstuffs, find
Uh-huh.
porcinis and morels and stuff like that, was just the medicinal qualities of these and how long we've actually known about them as humans. I mean, Chinese herbalism, this goes back thousands of years,
Uh-huh.
so just tapping into like something that was more like our roots in medicine, right? Has really kind of connected me to what I believe is my ancestry. Yeah. So, yeah, big subject. Yeah.
When was your first encounter with mushrooms? How did that begin? How did this journey begin?
Yeah, I had a really good friend, my buddy Chris, who took me out mushroom picking. And this was over 10 years ago. And I was absolutely fascinated. This is in Northern California in like the Haiuchi area. They get more rain than Seattle.
Oh, wow.
And the abundance, the color, understood that they were food. He taught me a lot about the medicinal qualities and then figured out how I could, use them, outside of to. So with mushrooms, it's really interesting. Like they're all made out of chitin, the cell membrane.
Mhm.
And so you want the medicine that's inside it. So
Okay.
extracting that, opening up those cell membranes can be challenging if you don't know what you're doing. So learning about that was huge for me too. And I have a background in health and wellness, and was major in psych and phys ed, and so it all just kind of
Fit together?
yeah, fit together and just
Uh-huh.
became this thing. So yeah, I'm amazed that I'm even here. It was all about it took 5 months and sisters when I first got up here, and it was like, well, what is my life? I
Mhm.
kind of took this expanded view of like, what does happiness mean to me? And it wasn't money, it wasn't people, it wasn't things, it wasn't homes. Like I've had all of that, and it's all transient. It seemed to me like if I could figure out what I was passionate about and
Yeah.
do that, that would bring me great happiness and joy. And the other part of this was like, well, if I could do something I'm passionate about and it benefits others
Mhm.
and like I'm of service, wow, it's like this never ending cycle of like feelings of joy and excitement. And I don't no longer seek like happiness. It's more like just peace.
Yes.
But at the time, that was my question. And so all I knew is that what I was passionate about was mushrooms.
Yeah.
And I just dove in head first, and researched and used them and helped friends with them. The big thing that I was talking about before was, a fella came to me who was suffering from HSV2, herpes simplex virus 2,
Okay.
and he was getting like breakouts like once a week. And so he came to me because I had a friend and I was spouting off about, oh, these things are great. They've got these qualities that can help with this. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, he was super receptive. We changed his nutrition. We put him on this regimen of mushrooms. And, on the energetic side too, he was working on these deep family wounds and traumas,
Mhm.
because nothing is just physical, right?
Yes. Yeah.
The emotional, mental, spiritual, all divinely intrinsically connected. So, um, with him working on that area of his life, changing his nutrition, using these medicines, he was able to go down to zero breakouts.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, this is it,
Yeah.
and that was it. And I'm like, I'm not gonna work for anybody else. I'm just gonna dedicate my life to this and helping
Uh-huh.
people and never look back. And that's it. It's like that's an edge for people. You got to take that jump. It's a fun Terrence McKenna quote. I can't remember
Uh-huh.
the whole thing, but it's
Yeah.
like, this is the shamanic dance in the waterfall. This is
Mhm.
what all the gurus know. It's like you jump off the cliff and at the bottom is a feather bed.
Mhm.
Something like that. I
Yeah.
probably slaughtered it.
Uh-huh. I know.
But yeah, that's what I found, and especially in this community in Bend,
Mhm.
I've been extremely supported with everything that I've brought out to folks. And the funny part too is like when I start studying something,
Yeah.
start getting really interested in it, all of a sudden everybody starts asking me for that thing.
Oh, really? That's
And it's like
interesting.
just like listening,
Uh-huh.
and then following that passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a path of lifelong learning.
Yes, for sure. And if you stay in that path of like, I'm always an apprentice, I'm always open to learning, your cup's never overflowing, it's never full,
Yeah.
and then you can just kind of explore where that takes you. And so I'm here now. We'll see where this goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a beautiful story. So this man that you mentioned before and his path to recovery? Was he your first, if you will, client, the first person you served through mushrooms?
Kind of. So many months before that, my
Uh-huh.
grandmother was diagnosed dementia.
Okay.
And this was, yeah, that was really hard for me. And like, my grandmother was such a big part of my life. And I saw like these uh, notes in my mother as well. And I was like, what can I do?
Uh-huh.
You know, the pharmaceutical route didn't seem to be helping her. And so I just studied and I went into finding medicines like lion's mane and cordyceps and gotucola and ginkgo biloba. And I started mixing these blends and I sent them to her. And it was beautiful. It really helped her symptoms.
Really?
Brought her like more presence and like kind of snapped her out of it
Uh-huh.
for a while.
Yeah.
It worked for a bit. And then also sent these medicines to my mom and she had great responses from them as well. So that's kind of like the first, it
Okay.
was out of like need
Yeah.
to like help my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like to understand better, like, why do mushrooms, are they so medicinal?
Yeah. Great question. Yeah, so you can go into the chemical compounds,
Hmm.
which is like more the mechanics, and you can also go into the essence, the spirit of them, right?
Okay.
And the curanderos of Mexico, they talk about this, like everything has a mechanic and a spirit to it. On the mechanical side, like you could pick something like lion's mane, right? When we look at this, when we put it in our body, what it's doing is it's encouraging new cell growth where neurons are firing. It's repairing the myelin sheath, which is the fatty acid that protects our neurons. And then it's boosting serotonin production in the gut, which is where 97% of our serotonin is made. This also helps with detoxification, liver health, which huge. Um, that is like the mechanics of it, which is it's massive. We live in a cognitive forward society and culture,
Yeah.
and so people really notice this one when they take it. That's why it's so popular.
Wow.
Yeah, fantastic. And then, the spirit and the essence of it is more of like what you're feeling internally
Uh-huh.
when it activates inside of you.
Okay.
And that is focus and clarity and energy and mood upliftment, right? So that's just one example. Each one of
Hmm.
these mushrooms, like reishi, is the mushroom of immortality in Chinese herbalism.
Uh-huh.
It used to be only like kings and queens would get to have it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they would dry it over their doorway. It was a
Uh-huh.
protector. Chaga is the mushroom of immortality of Siberia. They would drink it in teas, and this was their great protector.
Oh, wow.
But how do they work inside of us? It's chemical compounds, triterpenes, beta glucans, these things that are really, really good for us in areas of adaptation, defense, and in lion's mane, and sometimes cordyceps as well,
Hmm.
cognition and mood. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
fascinating.
hmm
Do you have a favorite mushroom that you particularly take on a daily basis?
No, people always ask me this.
Uh-huh.
It kind of goes in waves. This morning I took reishi, really calming and soothing to the nervous system.
Uh-huh.
Really great for detoxification as a liver and kidney
Yeah.
tonic as well. And good for the skin. Yeah.
Will mushrooms sit differently depending on the individual and its bio
Oh,
makeup?
for sure. When it comes to natural medicines in general, mushrooms and plants, that they each hold their own like unique vibration, right? It's
Uh-huh.
like they're teaching their lesson.
Okay.
And some of us need certain lessons for a certain period of time
Yes.
until we understand it, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, so that is what, so with mushrooms, it's like, which one do you need?
Yeah.
Right? And
Okay.
it's hard to choose sometimes.
Mhm.
There's some really basics, like if you're just looking for the mechanics, you can scroll through and find the one that fits you.
Yeah.
But I often teach people to muscle test and body test and to feel into what is accurate for them in each moment.
Uh-huh.
You got a lot of people out there that are just like, oh, I'm in a regiment, and this person told me this on Instagram, and I got to take this every single. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Uh-huh.
Are you listening to your body?
Mhm.
And so I find that there's this voice that's always speaking to us,
Okay.
right? It's that little quiet voice. And when we learn to slow down and tune into our bodies and listen, we never regret that. And so it's more about like learning that. So when people
Mhm.
come in the apothecary, we often do little mini courses on body testing and muscle testing to find what's right for them.
How does that look like? What?
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. Some people, and some people may think this is woo woo. I don't care. It's accurate. It's so I stand up and I kind of tap a meridian right on the heart, and I hold the item in my right hand, just right up there, and I ask, "Is like, hey, are these for me, or are these for me today?" And then I bring it down to about 2 inches below my belly button center. This is our dantian in qigong. And so standing straight up, we've tapped our meridian, we come into center, we ask, and we hold it 2 inches in front. Now, if my belly starts to move towards that, that's a yes. If it moves away from it, it's a no. And so this has become very visceral for me because this is a regular practice. And
Wow.
it's kind of like you want big muscles, you go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week, you practice.
Yeah.
Same thing with this, you know? For some folks, they get it right away and it's amazing. And then they're just running with it.
They get it right away,
Oh, yeah.
being that
Yep.
the muscle protrudes outward.
Well, it's kind of like this energetic push or pull more
Okay.
than a muscular thing is what
Got
I've
it.
experienced it as.
Uh-huh.
Because again, we're not just physical beings.
Yeah.
There's something more going on here. Um, so yeah, it's like if you wanna enhance this, then you can like hold food at the fridge and
Mhm.
ask in the grocery store. Who cares,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Or like whisper questions into your hand and hold them there and just listen, because
Mhm.
there's something greater than our mind at work here, right? And when we lean into that more of like listening instead of thinking about everything.
Yeah, like, forgetting that rational mind.
Yeah, well, this is kind of like the hamster wheel of questions, of fear of the past and anxiety of the future,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And that's your mind is sharp, so is mine. Whoop de doo. What has it brought us? Is it peace? Is it presence? Is it knowing? And so, if it's not those things, where do those things come from?
Mhm.
I believe the access point is our body. And so, when we're standing there, we're tapping, we're bringing this right in front of our belly, our consciousness has moved into our body and we're just listening. And it takes all of like 10, 15 seconds. And in that moment, you're not spinning your wheels.
Yeah.
You're present in your body.
Mhm.
So any practice that brings us into our body in a deep sense of listening, it connects us to maybe the all that is. There seems to be an intelligence that permeates all things.
Mhm.
And I'm curious about that. And so most people, they go through their whole lives never attempting to connect or listen or talk to. And when we set up this method and we go, hey, universe, all that is, God, whatever you want to call it, like, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to do it in this way. And this is how I want you to respond to me. You better believe you get a response. And that is so powerful. Right. And man, there's so many things that we can't know. And by tuning into this other sense, right place, right time, synchronicities, flow, things we couldn't even know, right? I think this intelligence is very clever and has a sense of humor too,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And so some people, they talk about like, oh, I saw this, or I was thinking about my friend, they just called me. We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
We literally say the gut feeling,
Mhm.
right?
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's hundreds of thousands of neurons there.
Mhm.
In many cultures, it's the second mind. And so if it's there, like, why not
Use it.
practice to, yeah,
Yeah,
access it.
for sure.
Yeah. And so this is just, and it's super fun too.
Uh-huh.
It's like, and your mind's going to be like, "Hey, you're crazy. Like, what is this?" And blah, blah, blah. And that's the wheel, and you know when it's happening.
Uh-huh.
And instead of like getting down about it, you're just like, oh, I have a tool for this. It's like
Uh-huh.
having your little Batman belt,
Yeah.
right? It's just these little things that bring us in the present throughout the day that,
And it's ours.
yeah,
It doesn't cost us anything. It's
that's
just
right.
a matter of tapping into it.
Yes, and another thing about it being ours is it's super empowering. It
Mhm.
takes any like, oh, I have to go and listen to this person and pay for their time, and I got to talk to a professional about this. And that brings it back into like, no, I'm sovereign.
Yeah.
This is my divine connection,
Mhm.
and I have a knowing that exists beyond my mind, and I'm gonna listen to that.
Mhm.
It's really, really empowering. Yeah.
So many times this is the first approach with your client when they come into the apothecary.
It can be.
It can be.
Yeah, because I got a lot of stuff in there, and it can be overwhelming.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, if we're working on nervous system stuff, well,
Mhm.
I've got Zen Mind, I've got my Blue Moon tincture, and so which of those two feel good for you?
Sure.
And so they can take both and hold them and test them for themselves.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. And so then they get to have the message, I can do it for folks. I've got this weird thing where since I was a kid, I can feel everybody in the room and kind of know what they need.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And it was scary at first. And now people pay me to do it for them. But this is a way where I can, transfer that and allow people to, have this technology within themselves so that they can move through their days like with that knowing. Yeah.
Technology, that's an interesting new word. Yeah?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's a word for it. It's a magic, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just like breathing is a technology, that brings us into presence. So
Mhm.
when you're driving around, you're at a stoplight, are you fiddling with your phone? Are you thinking about where you're going, where you're coming from? Or are you like feeling your steering wheel?
Yeah.
Are you breathing? And when you're breathing, you can breathe up your back.
Mhm.
And when you're breathing out, you can breathe out your front,
Mhm.
and then you're fully present now,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
It's a technology. Yeah.
Mhm. That's cool.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you find yourself constantly educating your clients, if you will? Are they I mean, there's so much knowledge that you possess through these years of study and just your own intuition into the body and into these mushrooms.
Yeah, and it's a great joy, education and also re-education,
Uh-huh.
And so I feel like the more study that I've done, understanding like there's some ideas out there about how the body works that
Uh-huh.
are harming us instead of helping us. And so this shift in like seeing how the body works and empowering people and like
Mhm.
listening, it's such an honor and it's what I love to do. And like I can just spit wisdom about this stuff all day long and still learn more too. There's a lot of people that come into the apothecary where it's like, oh, that's a bit of information I didn't have. I'm gonna
Mhm.
go check that out.
I can imagine that
So,
must
and
happen a lot.
yeah, so just staying open too, like I'm not the only one with wisdom. Everyone's the guru if you're able to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. And, can you tell me a little bit about, like, what things most clients are looking for when they come into the apothecary? What are current needs?
Yeah, gosh. I would say the big ones more recently are detox, understanding that, wow, we got a lot of poisons in our society nowadays. So, the plastics, microplastics, plastics touch everything, right?
Yes.
All of our foods, their shampoo bottles, clothing, the polyester stuff. Those are hormone and endocrine disruptors. And so what we're seeing is like a massive spike in estrogenics, which is inflammation, which is the big C, which is, our hormones affect, it's like this cascade effect in our body. And so figuring out how to like cleanse those out and then reestablish like healthy hormones is huge. Another one is parasites. It's big.
Mhm.
I would say like 90% of people have them. And they're not this like scary thing. It's like they exist in our body because there's a food source and they're kind of like a cleanup crew
Yeah.
because the pH is acidic. They can't exist in pH alkaline states.
Uh-huh.
And so understanding how they work, cleansing them out, liver cleanse as well. That's big. Nah,
Okay.
it's the main, you know, transfer box. It's the cleanser. It gets everything out of our body. And so giving that a break for like 5 days to a week is like super important nowadays too. There might be, metals being sprayed down from the skies that might get in our food and water and et cetera. And so aluminum that crosses the blood-brain barrier,
Mhm.
I've found to be a big thing. People talking about brain fog. Well, if you get metals that cross your blood-brain barrier, you're
Uh-huh.
walking around the 250 towers in Bend or Wi-Fi or Bluetooth,
Sure.
those things vibrate, right? And so it makes sense. And then once you remove those, like back to yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of guidance and cleanses has been big recently, just with people understanding and doing their own research on like the modern day toxins and poisons.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And, among your clients, men and women e by par?
Yeah, I would say we actually see more women, like maybe like 60, 65% women coming in that are really keen to learn.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, with men, it's more fellows that are actively doing the research already.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And are mushrooms good for everyone?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't say that. That's like I wouldn't say that any one thing is good for everyone,
I Okay.
I would say that they can play a beneficial role in adapting to life, and so that could look like nervous system with reishi, that could look like gut health with lion's mane and
Mhm.
cognition as well. It's really kind of like what are you looking for? What's coming up for you?
Hmm.
There's a lot of people that are like, in an American way. I tell people not to buy so much stuff when they come in. It's like, hey, start with one or two things. Let your body start to integrate those things so you know what it is, how,
Sure.
the essence of it and the mechanics of it and how it's working in your body. Come back in a few weeks and we can talk about the next step. You
Sure.
can muscle test and body test for that for yourself. Um, there's a lot of these blends out there by other brands that put like, oh, I'm just going to put all the mushrooms and all the plants in one thing.
I've
It's like,
yeah.
well, that could be interesting. That's a lot of like spirit. That's a lot
Mhm.
of mechanic in one thing. And it could be great for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it might be something to, just work with one plant or
Uh-huh.
work with one mushroom for a while. The curanderos of Mexico, to bring them up again, that's part of their understanding of working with plants is they'll do a dieta with a plant for months and they'll learn its song and
Mhm.
they'll learn its energy and the mechanics of it. And then they're able to pass that knowledge on and or know when they need to use it again themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is there any mystery of mushrooms that you would or fungi that you would love to learn that kind of keeps you up at night?
Oh gosh, nothing keep me up at night nowadays,
Uh-huh.
so much. But yeah, I'm stay curious and open always to whatever the mushroom realm brings, and just anything to do with like understanding the body as well. One thing that came up recently was really fascinating is uh, they're looking at fascia, and they found that fascia are actually made of it's a neurological network.
Yeah.
So fascia is like this, it's filled with this crystalline liquid. And
Mhm.
how they used to do it is when people died, cadavers, they would dry them out, cut them open, and look at them. Well, the fascia's gone, at that level because there's no liquid in them.
Mhm.
And so being able to study the fascia nowadays, understanding that's a neurological network, it's like, wow, well, lion's mane affects that, right? So lion's mane affects us anywhere we have neurons firing. And that's
Wow.
our fascia, that's our gut, hundreds of thousands of neurons. That's our central nervous system. That's a giant neurological network. That's our heart. Our heart has about 60 to 90,000 neurons that fire independently of the mind, and they fire based on feelings and emotions. Makes sense, right?
Mhm.
So everybody thinks about neurons as just the brain, but really this medicine is affecting us everywhere. So little things like that that connect back to the knowledge around the mushroom realm. It's always fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is yeah.
Neat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that, what you just said about the heart? I'm
Yeah,
very
so,
curious.
the Heart Math Institute,
Yeah,
they
I've
look
studied
at
a little bit
studies.
about it. In our coaching program, we had to. And one thing that I learned is just that the heart sends more messages to the brain than the brain to the heart. And that was like, wow.
Makes
We
sense.
always think that the brain is what really dominates our,
You're
but it was, can you, yeah. So that's why I'm curious that you dive into this subject.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating thing, uh, so the Heart Math Institute, great group of people, nobody's studying the
All
heart like
backed
they do. Yeah.
by science. Yeah.
Yes, and so what they're looking at is, wow, the heart has, they're trying to check on the electromagnetic wavelength, like how big it is.
Yeah.
And it's as big as the room that they have that they can like register it, way bigger than the brain, right? They also did this test on the heart where they sat people down in front of screens, right?
Hmm.
And they put registers on the brain and the heart, and they wanted to know which one registered first to stimuli. And so they would show a image of a bunny and an image of a meadow, and then a guy with a gun.
Yeah.
And, every single person registered, the heart registered first, and it registered like milliseconds before the image even showed up. And so it's like, wow, there's this thing inside of us that knows, that like intuitively knows before things even show up that we can tap into, right? And that's the intelligence of the body, the heart, not the mind. This shows up later. The mind shows up later and just like gives you all the reasons why or why not,
Hmm.
you know? Based on your conditioning, based on your traumas, based on your childhood, which is where your whole blueprint is
Yeah.
set up, right?
Hmm.
Between ages of 0 and 14. Like your notions of self-worth, masculinity, and femininity, the whole thing. And so that's just, it goes back to that practice of like muscle testing, body testing. Really, it's like bringing us into like that present moment or listening to that initial like yes or no,
Yeah.
and just following that and like getting out of here,
Right.
right? like the mentalism in our society is just it's draining. We
It
can't even
is.
keep up. We're over flooded with information. Our minds were not meant to receive as much as we do each day.
Yeah,
It's a
all the choices.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And so the phone, for example, I mean, it's just
it's too
flood.
much. Yeah.
Yeah. We've all experienced it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And so like getting in the woods, getting your feet on the ground, bare feet, just looking up at the sky,
Yeah,
listening to bird song, being near streams and rivers, like all these things we take for granted.
no, for
And that
sure.
was like the old shamanic way. It's like, oh, this person's coming in sick. Like, well, did you stop singing? Did you stop dancing? Have you spent time in the woods? Those are like the first questions. It's a huge shift for us if we can just spend more time in nature, or like the equivalent that you spend in front of a screen, spend that time in the forest.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good medicine.
mm,
Yeah.
for sure. Shinrin Yoku, the forest bathing
Yeah,
concept that the Japanese have created, says a lot about their society that they have a word for that.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
So do you get out in the woods a lot? What does your health wellness practice look like, Willis?
Yeah, I have to schedule it nowadays.
Yeah, I
It
can
used to
imagine you must
be,
be very busy.
yeah, it used to be weeks on end of just
Uh-huh.
being in the woods, and now it's making sure that I'm out in the woods at least 1 day a week, the whole day
Uh-huh.
by myself. It's kind of like temple or church or whatever you want to call it for
Sure.
me. It's a necessity to stay balanced, and so recently just going out picking morels,
Mhm.
picking porcinis, and just being alone. It's where my greatest downloads or uploads come from, is when I'm deep in the forest by myself. Solitude has always been a comforting place for me ever since I was young. It's just part of my makeup, and
Yeah,
having time alone like that, even if it's just like a walk around the river here in Bend,
sure.
super important for me. Yeah, to stay balanced and healthy and happy and to show up for people in a really good way. Like I have great responsibility to, serve the community in this way. And so part of this is not only for me, it's for everybody.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
What any woods that you like to visit more than others? Any favorite places around Bend?
I mean, there's a lot. I really love the Cascade Lakes Highway. I
Wow.
love hanging out in the old growth forests up there. I love popping over the mountains to the mossy side, and taking a couple hour drive and just spending the day there.
Yeah.
If you've ever fallen asleep in a mossy area,
Uh-huh.
deep woods, it's a beautiful thing. And then, coastal. I mean, we are really blessed. We can drive an hour or 2 or 4 hours in all directions and go through so many different
Ecosystems?
ecosystems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so being on the ocean in the fall and picking mushrooms there, and the rain and the moisture, having that,
Mhm.
being in the high desert, it's nice to get away and have a little bit of that every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss the humidity too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be fun to have little bumps in there. But yeah, I would say nowadays, with the where the mushrooms are at right now, I just kind of follow them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
wherever they take me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
sometimes Sisters, sometimes Cascade Lakes Highway.
Mhm. How has all this study and work and just this constant learning with mushrooms enhanced your own health and wellness?
Oh yeah. I mean, this is who I am today and who I was like 10, 15 years ago. I mean, for everybody, probably completely different, but health wise, just I feel fantastic. I'm 43. I'm going to be 44. I don't look it,
Mhm.
Um, I feel stronger than I ever have, understanding like the necessity to move my body, to lift heavy weights, and to break those cell membranes and to grow them. Understanding the importance of detoxing. Yeah, it's just, I feel really, really vibrant, and part of this too is like just showing people that this is possible, without pharmaceuticals, without surgeries, without regular visits to the doctor. I've been to the doctor in over 20 years. It's not necessary, so right nutrition, right mindset, right
Mhm.
spiritual connection, and then accessing these beautiful medicines that are here for us. It's like
Yeah.
90% of pharmaceuticals are derived from mushrooms and plants. It's like, why not just go to the source, right? And this also connects us to our ancestry. there's something deep inside of us when we start working with these things that gets activated. It's fascinating. Yeah. And so, yeah, does that answer that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what a beautiful journey you've been on, and just the fact that you've been able to share it with so many others.
Yeah. Yeah, and it hasn't been without, pitfalls and things that seem like walls that are actually steps, learning and growth opportunities.
Sure.
With the loving fungi, things have shifted many times now, and just learning to be fluid and pivot and learn and grow. And, the more I do that, the more I'm supported, the more the community shows up, the
Mhm.
more I'm like passionate and driven to
Yeah,
show up for them as well. So yeah, I'm incredibly grateful.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
The loving fungi, is there's a pun on that? You can
Yeah, it's a little clever,
Uh-huh.
I consider myself that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is kind of grown into much more than just me, which is beautiful. We have a team of about gosh, 5, 6, 7 people now. We're all working together. It's beautiful. I had this moment when, man, it must have been like 4 years ago, and I was working in the shop by myself, and I just had this little, you ever have these little daydreams where it's like, imagine if I could support other people in the community
Yeah.
and do what I love
Uh-huh.
and support people with their health.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great? I just kind of sat and felt into that. And I look back now, I was like, wow, I did it. This is
Uh-huh.
it.
That's
And
so
so,
cool.
yeah, we're excited to continue growing and offer more jobs to the
Mhm.
community. Like we're pretty like we're moving in this AI realm, right?
Yeah.
And I am a little stubborn.
Uh-huh. Good
I'm
for you.
not a huge fan.
Yeah. I
It's
can
great to use for like, oh, I need information on like how to,
legal stuff
yeah,
or
legal stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, for
things that we don't wanna pay
labels.
out of
Yeah.
pocket for.
But it's been really beautiful to have a team that's so aligned with like, no, we're gonna do this the human way.
Yeah.
We're gonna write all of our emails by hand. Most of our artwork is made by a local artist. We use another local person to do our digital art that turns into our labels. We source as much stuff locally as we can. Our labels are printed here,
Yeah, they're beautiful.
to the medicines that are inside it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's kind of again like a dream come true that I get to continue to do this, and do it with integrity.
Yeah.
I think that speaks louder than like any of these podcasts or speaking with people is like
Mhm.
when you when you understand what we're doing, right? And when you try it for yourself,
Mhm.
right? And then people come back,
Yeah, for
and then
sure.
we build this beautiful like family and connection. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that human touch. I receive your newsletters and I can tell, the voice behind all your emails and your texts. And it reminds me of before moving to Bend, I was a beekeeper in Colombia, and the bees made incredible honey where I lived. And there was never enough honey, for all the people who wanted it. And every single bottle had a handwritten note by myself.
Mm.
It said miel, which is honey, miel de taita, which is the name of the farm. And anyways, I wrote kind of basic information, how many grams of honey it had, and I would always kind of draw a heart, and every single one was drawn by hand. And sometimes people said to me, don't you want to do it, do a print? Well, you won't spend so much time because I would cut out the paper, I would make the
Oh
little
yeah.
punch hole, I would cut the
A
string.
lot of love.
It's a lot of love, and I wanted, people to know that this was made with love,
Yeah.
by bees and then, kind of bottled by me. And it was also just a very mindful moment, for me to write these things by hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And
so
and
I think it was my little personal touch that maybe made the honey to be such a popular seller.
well,
Anyways, I miss
for
that.
sure, and
Yeah.
and also that speaks to like why does soul food taste good? Well, these
Mhm.
women are singing and they're joyful and they put
Yeah.
love into what they do, and we can taste that. We take
Mhm.
that on. I would say it's super important to know who's making your medicine and your food.
For sure.
It's different when Nana or grandma's lovingly serving you food
Yeah.
than when you go out to some type of food truck or restaurant. You can
Mhm.
feel that
Yeah,
energetically.
for
They're
sure.
on it, and so the same thing with what we're doing, like, we only make stuff by hand,
Mhm.
every single capsule's made by hand,
That's
like, every
incredible.
single blend, all of the
Wow.
tinctures, we're, say a little prayer over these things. Like
Yeah.
the intention is huge energetically in life, and like what we think and feel goes into what we're doing.
Yes, for sure.
It's like you've got a relationship with a partner. Well, they can feel when you're fully authentically there and you're tapping in and you're sending them love versus just going through the motions,
Yeah.
right? And so we as energetic beings pick up on these things really strongly. And when you clean up your life and you start getting attuned and in touch with these things, those things become more important, you
Mhm.
know? And then, yeah, and it can be challenging to find, businesses, people, things with integrity nowadays, right?
Mhm.
All the flashy labels, all of the marketing attempts and all these things. Um, yeah, and so super important when you do find them.
Mhm.
That's who I want to support, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I want to have in the apothecary.
Sure.
Those are the people I want to surround myself with. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to see the process of making all your medicines. I mean, it must be fascinating how you extract it from the mushrooms. I would be really curious to see that.
Yeah, and it is an important thing too. I kind of want to bring that up is like stuff that like sets us apart from folks
Uh-huh.
beyond like man, everything made in small batches by hand with love
Yeah.
is and packaging. Nothing is plastic.
Yeah.
Like we're only using glass stuff to hold things because we understand the plastic
Mhm.
is like infecting medicine.
Yeah.
The integrity in that. And then yeah, just the extraction in general, making sure like whether you get mushroom products from us or not,
Mhm.
making sure it's always extracts from fruiting bodies. Everything else is kind of garbage. Again, like the chitin, that cell membrane,
Yeah.
folks will just blend this up and give it to people, and that's
Okay.
damaging to the liver.
Wow.
Yeah. And so you have other companies out there that are using myceliated rice grain, which is essentially a rice block where they've only grown the mycelium into it, and
Uh-huh.
then they're blending that up and giving it to you. So a lot of it's rice, and then the rest of it's just the mycelium.
Wow.
And so the true medicine actually is in the fruiting body. That takes
Okay.
more time,
Uh-huh.
takes money,
Sure.
and it takes a long extraction process that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, to get an extract water soluble powder.
Okay.
And so that's why some of these companies are bypassing that. Either they don't know better or it's a way to make
Save. Mhm.
make money off of people.
Sure.
And so we do not do any of that. Like we do not have the resources to create our own extraction facility at the
Mhm.
moment, and so we outsource from the best in the world.
Okay.
That's the only thing we outsource for our blends. But yeah, tinctures are made with love and care. Those take anywhere from 6 to 12 months. That's an everyday shake and love process. Yeah,
Wow.
they're set up on moon cycles, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, a lot goes into this that people don't know. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a love, it's a passion. It's just like handwriting your tags and
Yeah.
putting love into it,
Mhm.
creating a relationship with bees. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I have this relationship with these medicines now,
Mhm.
and it's my job to act in integrity with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's next for the Loving Fungi and the apothecary?
Gosh, I don't even know. Whatever happens, but we are
Uh-huh.
doing classes there, which are really rewarding. We have different practitioners in the EMF protected room.
Mhm.
I've been teaching a lot of people about that and, going into people's homes and helping them mitigate EMFs and bend.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of different things you can do in the home. And then we are looking at expansion. And so looking at getting into nationwide markets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And
Good
so,
for you. That's
yeah. We
incredible.
got we got some products that are gonna be coming out
Uh-huh.
in July.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna tell anybody about it just
Okay.
yet. But it'll be exciting. If people want to jump on the email list, it's on the website. They can find out more about that.
Yeah.
Instagram will probably share on there too.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's a little hush hush until then.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, Mitchell, where can people find you?
In the woods. Don't come looking for me there. Yeah, so the apothecary is 519 Northwest Colorado. We do have parking in the alleyway in the back.
Okay.
So swing back there, and we're open Wednesday through Sunday. Um, while the markets are going on, I'll be at Northwest Crossing on Saturdays
Okay.
and Sisters Farmers Market on Sundays. And you can find me in the apothecary Wednesday through Friday. If you'd like to book a consultation with me too, I have that access point on the website portal. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And speaking about your consultations, what are reasons why someone might consult with you?
Anything and everything,
Hmm.
as simple as like, hey, I want to learn more. I want to work on anxiety, hormonal health, detoxing, sleep cycles. Yeah, it's just kind of whatever comes up in that initial consult we start working on.
Uh-huh.
And it's one piece at a time. Yeah. So yeah, it can be many things. And if it's not me that you need to see,
Hmm.
oftentimes I'm referring to other colleagues in town, and we are abundant with some really amazing healers, guides, medicine people. And so that's a beautiful thing too. Is like I feel like a bit of an access point
Yeah.
to like this spider web of
Uh-huh.
like really beautiful people in Bend.
It reminds me a little bit of the network that fungi actually
Yeah,
create under the
yeah,
ground. That's kind of like what you're
the
doing.
mycelial web. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that wasn't intentional; it just kind of happened.
Uh-huh.
You meet these people through your own healing process. And
Hmm.
that's it. I'm not forever on that journey too. Like when things come up, I wanna dissect them and go in and feel it all and process it. And I need help too.
Sure.
And so there's really beautiful people that are really good at what they do in Bend that
Yeah.
been very blessed to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so sharing them with folks
Mm.
that are on their own path too, it's like it's just natural now.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
And as my last question, how does living and working in band help you? It is such a unique place.
Yeah. Um Wow, access to so much nature, helps me immensely, just like emotionally and mentally. Being around like so many different folks because we are kind of like a vacation town.
Uh-huh.
It's really cool to be at markets or be in the apothecary and always meet travelers and different people from around the nation. That's been beautiful. And then the community in Bend in general is extremely supportive for local stuff.
I couldn't agree more. Bend is such a unique place and so blessed by the community of people who have chosen to live and work here. Willis, thank you so much for being part of Bend into Balance today. I really enjoyed our talk and I've learned so much.